Hello and welcome to Creator Weekly Live for August 25th, 2024. I'm Peggy Kay, and today there are updates for YouTube and for Twitch and for bloggers, social media, lots more. So let me get started. First of all, I want to say hello to the folks who are in the live chat. Thank you for joining me today. Let me know what you think about this week's updates. There's some interesting ones this week. First, I want to start with an update to YouTube that it's in its beginnings, but I think it has potential. The first update this week is a new way to access support for hacked YouTube accounts. Now, hacked accounts are a huge problem, even for people who don't have big channels. The issue is that hijackers can then take your YouTube channel and they start live streaming scammy live streams like Elon Musk is going to give you free Bitcoin or something like that. The channels get terminated. And of course, it's bad because someone who has access to your YouTube channel probably also has access to your Google account. So it's all bad. Now, this new way to access support for hacked YouTube accounts involves an AI chatbot, which, I can tell some people are probably going to say, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. But let's take a look. So if you go to the Recover a Hacked YouTube channel Help Center article, this is in the official YouTube Help Center. If you are eligible for assistance, you will see a button that says Chat with our Hacked Channel Assistant. So this is a chatbot designed specifically to help people whose accounts have been hijacked. And when I say hijacked, are there videos on your channel that you didn't post there? Is there any unusual activity? Or, if you've lost access to your account, is it possible that it was hijacked? And I'll note that there are really sneaky ways to have your account hijacked that involve bad extensions or accidentally downloading something. Even big YouTube channels have had their accounts hijacked. So it happens to the best people. So if you see that happened, go to the Recover a Hacked YouTube channel Help Center article. If you see Chat with our Hacked Channel Assistant, you can click that. And you can see that it is an AI chatbot. It says it's still learning and that human reviewers may read and annotate and process the conversation. So don't write anything you wouldn't want another person to see. And you can see that it starts, the channel has suspicious activity or something else. That starts the chat going, and then it will walk you through the process of hopefully securing your Google account and then reverting any changes that the hijackers may have made. And this is experimental is what I want to say. It's only available in English. If this doesn't work, or if you don't have access to it, the alternative is going on to X and tweeting at Team YouTube, which is not a great alternative. So this is much better. Craig asks, are deleted videos recoverable? If an account has been hijacked and the hijacker deleted the videos, they may be recoverable for a short time. They are not self-recoverable. So if you have any indication that your account might have been hijacked, even if you recover access to your account and you add the safety settings, security settings, you need to make sure that no changes were made. if changes were made by the hijacker, go through this process, and then you'll find out what YouTube can help you with. So it's definitely worthwhile doing this if you think there's unusual activity on your account. And I just want to say, before any of this happens, make sure you have up-to-date recovery options on your Google account. That makes the process much easier if you lose access. So a recovery phone number, a recovery email, and even if you added it a while ago, it's good to go into your Google account settings and make sure those are up to date. And, the best, what they say, the best offense is a good defense, something like that. Make sure your account is secure. And of course, be careful. Don't download anything from an email. Don't install any weird extensions. But even if you do all those things right, it's still possible your account is hijacked. So have recovery options. The next thing I want to talk about is another YouTube update, this time not available to everyone. And YouTube has expanded their partnership with Shopify. So Shopify is a platform where people can sell things. And with this extension, YouTube now allows more Shopify merchants to offer their wares for YouTubers to promote through the shopping affiliate program. So if you are a merchant, the way you get into this is you have a Shopify store and you have to synchronize it with the Google Merchant Center. There's instructions in the Help Center. If you are a creator, this requires your channel is in the YouTube Partner Program. You have at least 10,000 subscribers, and it's not made for kids. So if you're in the shopping affiliate program, this means that there will be more items to promote. If you're a viewer, more things to buy. Seems like this is good for everybody. If you are a creator that is doing YouTube shopping, you can also install a new extension from YouTube. It lets you tag products while you're browsing. So if you're looking through a store, you can tag things for later. Most of the shopping things that I've seen are related to like beauty products and that sort of thing. That seems to be the most popular, but maybe we'll see a lot more different kinds of shopping things now. So those are the two big updates for YouTube. The next thing I wanted to mention is that there is a new kind of fun thing to try. You should all be able to do this. YouTube now lets you create a QR code for your YouTube channel. You can share this wherever you want to share it. People can hold their phone up or use something like Google Lens, and it acts as a link. This is especially great if you are sharing your channel offline. You can put it on a card or poster. And to get your own QR code, you have to go into the YouTube mobile app, click the U icon at bottom right. If you see the option to share your channel on that screen, click that. Otherwise, open your own YouTube channel. Click the three-dot menu icon there, select share. So like you're sharing your channel, and then you can choose the option to have a QR code. It lets you save it to your camera roll, and from there you can share it on social media, put it in your photos, make, I don't know, flyers with it, do whatever you want. So that's kind of a fun update. Not hugely exciting, but it's kind of a good quality of life thing. Makes it easier to share your channel. The last thing I wanted to mention YouTube-wise is that the YouTube Creator Liaison has a bunch of new shorts answering people's questions. I really recommend that you watch these if you create YouTube videos. But this week, I thought it was particularly interesting. There are shorts answering the questions on your videos. Do the tags matter? Does the category matter? Do hashtags in your description matter? And the answer is not much. The answer to all of those questions, oh, I forgot to switch tabs. Let me just switch over to the correct tab. So watch these shorts. The short answer for everyone is you should really focus on your video descriptions and title and not worry so much about things like tags or the category it's in. They might play a very, very small role in helping YouTube understand what your video is about. But I've seen people kind of get obsessed about things like tabs. And I know that there's some, shall we say, gurus who talk about, oh, how to make optimized tags for your videos. That stuff really doesn't matter very much. The important thing is titles and descriptions. And honestly, that's a little bit harder than figuring out a bunch of tags to use. So I assume that's why it doesn't get focused on as much. Anyway, go to the Creator Liaison YouTube channel. As always, there are links to everything in this week's update, in this week's newsletter. There's a link to that in the video description, and you can subscribe to get that in your email inbox every week. Let me just show you that the link is peggyktc.beehive.com if you want to get the email newsletter that comes out every Saturday. You can then peruse all the updates and links. So let me switch gears now to updates for people who have websites and blogs. This would be, people like me, maybe people like you. And I am just going to call up something really quick. Oh, actually, I apologize. I have a couple quick Twitch updates that I wanted to mention. The first is that Twitch is introducing the option to add videos to stories. Stories are similar to what Instagram has. So you post a story and it's kind of ephemeral, if that's the right word. It disappears. It can be up for up to 48 hours. The idea is, it's more casual, get to know the creators. So you can add photos, text, clips, and now videos. And only partners and affiliates can post stories. The other news is that you can now view the stories on desktop. So a lot of people watch Twitch on a desktop. Makes sense for stories to show there. The other update from Twitch this week is something called drop-ins. Now, what the heck does this mean? That's always the question, right? Twitch has a collaborative streaming feature. And let me just switch here. Twitch has a stream together feature. Drop-ins let someone who is streaming knock on the streams of available streamers. Basically, knock, let me in. If they accept, you're doing a collaborative stream. And this is an article by Dan Clancy, who is the CEO of Twitch. He says, it's fun and it creates entertaining content. And let me just see if that shows. You can see that there's live streaming channels. and you can knock to ask to collaborate. If you are streaming, you can decide who can knock to ask to be let in to your stream. You can limit it to your favorites or channels you follow or affiliates or partners. And you can pause this while you're streaming. But it sounds like there's no way to completely turn it off, which sounds a little not great because there's going to be a lot of streamers who are just not interested in having random people knock to be asked to be let in. But if you stream on Twitch, this is something to check out. All right. Greetings to everyone who is in the live chat. It's good to see you here today. If you have tried any of these new features, I'd love to hear how they work for you. Chef says, make sure to update your recovery options as well as security on Google. Yes, do that. It always is a good idea to double check to make sure your options are up to date. It's so easy to kind of add things and forget. I have an older account that had my old phone number on it. I could have lost access to that because that phone number is no longer in service. So good to double check. Now I'm going to switch gears a bit and talk about a few updates for bloggers. The first thing I wanted to mention is a question that came up in the English Google SEO office hours. So the SEO office hours are run by the Google Search Central team. This is official word from the Google search folks. The question was, could a YouTube video and the exact same text or content on the same web page be flagged as duplicate content? And the answer was no, because those are different kinds of content, and some people like the video and some people like the text. I think that for me personally, I wouldn't have the exact same text just because the text that's in video, even a scripted video, is harder to read than the kind of text you would write for people just to read. So it'd be good to kind of rephrase it and make it easier to read, but you can have the same content, which is good to know. And then I wanted to mention really quickly that this week is the 25th birthday of Blogger. So Blogger launched 25 years ago this week. Nothing exciting to mention. I wrote a whole article about Blogger and how I use it and some of the history and cool, fun facts for its 20th birthday. So you can read that. There's a link in this week's newsletter. I just wanted to mention that you should check it out, that they used to have a jingle. I don't know if you can actually hear this if I play it. Let me see. But if you go to the link, again, is shared in this week's newsletter, you can click the play the jingle button.
Snap a photo and type some text. Send it to Blogger and we'll do the rest.
I can't hear that at all because my microphone doesn't have output. I don't know if you could hear that, but it's basically snap a photo and write some text, send it to Blogger, and we'll do the rest, which is kind of cute. Very old school. And I also wanted to recommend, if you use Blogger or if you read Blogger blogs, there are ways to make a customized stream. This is possible because the feed URLs can be customized so that you can have specific labels or search terms, and you can say, yes, I want this. No, I don't want that. And I'm going to point you all to this article by Adam, who's another blogger expert. He's written this really great overview of how to create custom feeds in Blogger. Again, there's a link in this week's newsletter. Check it out. Chef says, we heard it. Jolyn says, you heard it? Oh, that's great. See, I learned something new today. I didn't know that the audio would necessarily come through from the pages I shared. So that's useful information, and it probably means I should be careful not to share anything that's too noisy. And just shifting just a little bit, another update that this week about blogging is about the state of Medium. Now, Medium is another blogging platform with social features, and Tony Stubblebine, he became CEO, I think, just over a year ago, and he's made big changes there. It sounds like they're headed in a good direction. In the state of the Medium address that he gave, he said they have 1 million paid subscribers. It is not monetized with ads. It's paid membership subscription. And if you go on Medium, some of the text will be free. Other articles are behind a paywall. The other thing that's kind of amazing is that they reached profitability this month. So like so many platforms struggling to be profitable, they reached profitability, and apparently a big part of that is cutting costs. So they went in and changed their configurations and made it so that they're not paying so many bills, which is much nicer than cutting costs by firing everyone, like some platforms have done. So this seems like it's really great. It's not great if you want the public to see all of your content and still monetize, because things go behind a paywall. This may be the way of the future. I think it's interesting to watch. So Medium also has their own Mastodon server, and they really felt like Mastodon and the Fediverse is a great way to go. I'm seeing that my internet connection is not stable. That's not something I can actually do anything about at the moment, unfortunately. Hopefully you can still hear all this fine. So Medium is great. I recommend following Tony Stubblebine if you're on Threads. He says that he's there for self-promotion, or on Mastodon. And I think that what we're seeing is this big shift away from monetizing with ads. Ads aren't generating as much revenue as they used to. Maybe paid subscriptions are the way to go. I want to bring up a comment from Nina. She says, looks like the help forums will go completely AI in the future. Do you agree? I think that's an interesting question. I'm sure that's something Google is thinking about. But I think the reality is that the AI they have is not ready to do that yet. So we'll see what happens. And a lot of questions we answer in the help community are answered in the help center, but you have to know the right terminology to find the information. You have to know how to phrase the question correctly to get a useful answer, and that requires people. Braylon asks, For YouTube, is there a two-step authentication? So that would be a setting in your Google account, and you definitely should set up two-step verification for your Google account. That will help keep it secure. And you can do that in myaccount.google.com. That's actually required for your YouTube channel to be in the YouTube Partner Program. You need to set that up. And I'll just note that some people get their accounts hijacked even though they have that set up, because there are these bad extensions and so forth that hijack your sessions. So it's not perfect, but it's better. Andrew says, it depends on which AI. Generative AI will always be a bit dodgy. Extractive is better for actual true answers. Yeah, I think that is really an important distinction. Generative AI, by its nature, is generating answers, and you get these hallucinations and things that are totally wrong. It's interesting how Google and so many other platforms have gone all in on the generative AI when that may not be the best path for things like the help center. I mean, sure, you can make it sound friendly, but not. And then I wanted to mention quickly that there is a new, get this up on screen, there's a new ruling by the US Federal Trade Commission. They have a rule banning fake reviews and testimonials. The thing that's interesting about this is that the rule also prohibits selling and buying indicators of social media engagement. So it's banning buying and selling comments and followers and subscribers and views. So this is like no view bots. And while it only applies to commercial entities, if you are monetizing your channel, for example, does that make you a commercial entity? You could argue yes. And so this is something that people who are trying to grow their channel or their social media profile and they want to show social proof, you should be aware that that could be violating the FTC guidelines. Now, they don't go after tons of people. I think if you're high profile, you're more likely to get dinged for this, but it's important to know. And quickly, one last thing that's gotten me kind of excited is on Threads. Threads is Meta's sort of Twitter-like platform. On Threads, you can't really see that very well, but on Threads, you can now create lists. That's lists of profiles and search terms. It makes a custom feed. This is great if you want to make a feed for just artists or just scientists or just political news. You can do that and look at it. It's still rolling out. I actually don't have it on my account yet, but other people are reporting that they have it. This is a great update, making Threads really useful. It's one of the things I really like on Twitter, actually. I have a bunch of feeds there. So those are this week's updates. Thank you so much for joining me. There's, of course, more this week. You can get in this week's newsletter. Check the link in the video description. Thank you so much for joining me live. If you have 10 more minutes, I'm actually going to go live again on the On eBoard channel with Nina and my friend Bob. We're going to have 3 tech tips in 10 minutes. There will be a redirect after I stop this stream. So thank you so much for joining me this week. I hope to see you again soon, if not later today, next Sunday. Have a great week.